Good afternoon once again. Today is Monday, the 22nd of June, 2020, and this is the English language summary of the daily press briefing here at the CCSA at the Government House. So I'd like to start off by just recapping once again the remarks of His Excellency the Prime Minister that was delivered last week, and I had recapped, and the spokesperson had recapped also parts of this on Friday. So just for some excerpts, and I quote, "The COVID crisis has shown me," meaning the Prime Minister, "the willingness of all Thais to work together as one, and that there are people everywhere and at every level with an unbounded willingness to work for their country. So therefore work as if there was a crisis every day, so that we can move forward faster to improve the lives of people, just as we did during the COVID crisis." And to continue with a quote from the Prime Minister from the same speech, "I would like to kick off today a national mission to plan a great Thailand together under a nation-building program I have called Thais Together Build Thailand. And I would like to invite every citizen to resolve to do their part and be ready to contribute to that plan." End of quote. So these were some of the words, quoted excerpts from the remarks of the Prime Minister that was delivered last week. Indeed, of course, it is a reflection of the leadership and the inspiration that he has provided to the people living in Thailand. And of course, that is very important in times of crisis like these. Of course, challenges are met. It's a common challenge for all of us. We cannot do it alone. The government cannot do it alone. And of course, we have seen a lot of progress and substantial success on the part of Thailand. And of course, the reflection of this leadership and inspiration is very important. So today, after the spokesperson presented his briefing summary, we had a special guest from the Ministry of Education, Mr. Warawit Kampu Ayutthaya, the advisor to the Minister of Education, who recapped about the schools measures, the measures for schools going back to school, in particularly the theme Back to Healthy School, the Back to Healthy School scheme. So school vis-a-vis the COVID infection. Particularly for terms starting, of course, the 1st of July to the 14th of November, and the term the 1st of December to the 10th of April of next year. The measures that he outlined for school, which I would not go into detail, but basically there are 20 basic health measures for schools outlined in a handbook for schools in particular, 20 basic health measures, and an additional 24 measures of a lesser importance, but of course also important. And the issue of social distancing in schools to remain 1.5 meter apart in terms of the desks in the various classrooms, they would be 1.5 meters apart. In terms of arranging the hours of classes, there are around 31,000 schools that would have normal scheduling in terms of the classes, 31,000 schools around the country. However, around 4,500 schools would be performing alternate scheduling in terms of the classes, around 4,500. And of course, there are many options for the schools to choose from. Of course, the Education Ministry is coordinating with the various schools. The many options include like having staggered class days on even days or odd days and things of the like. And of course, the Education Ministry also mentioned that if the COVID case is found in any school, the school would be closed for 3 days for cleaning, and that those in close contact will have to be quarantined and stay at home for 14 days. So continuing on to the information that we have for today, of course, 1 week has passed. The weeks have passed for phase 4 already for the relaxation of measures to curb COVID. We continue to report 0 domestic cases in Thailand. I believe it's the 28th day already of 0 domestic cases. And we have a number of imported cases that are put into the state and local quarantine. But of course, because of no new domestic cases, many have been complacent in terms of hygienic practices. we continue to remind everyone of the importance of the 5+1 measures, the face mask, washing hands often, keeping clean, social distancing, avoiding crowded areas. That's the five measures. Plus one, of course, is the Thai Chana platform or application. The Thai Chana platform is now available in 4 languages: Thai, English, Bahasa, Malaysia, and Myanmar. So on the issue of the general situation, the numbers that we have, just to recap, over the weekend first, we have 2 new infections, and one imported case from Bahrain on Saturday, and 1 imported case from South Africa on Sunday, both of which were placed directly into the state quarantine, as is compulsory, and both of the cases were asymptomatic. The imported case from South Africa mentioned is a case of a 6-year-old boy, a Thai boy, who was on a repatriation flight with his mother on the 15th of June 2020 from South Africa. He was tested positive and immediately taken to the hospital. His mother is negative, but will remain in quarantine for 14 days and be tested for COVID once again. So for today, we continue with 0 cases domestically for the 28th day, but for imported cases, as you can see on screen, we have 3 new imported cases reported. The imported cases are Thai nationals from a repatriation flight back from India. There are 3 female Thais aged 11, 21, and 34, arriving on the 15th of June from India in state quarantine at the moment, tested positive on the 20th of June, and they were asymptomatic. The 3 confirmed new cases makes the cumulative number in Thailand 3,151. Of that number, 95% have recovered or been discharged, according to the information you see on screen. So 28 days with no new domestics, that's a very good and positive sign, and we thank, of course, everyone for their cooperation. However, we'd like to express condolences to family and friends of Mr. Pongsak Kitka, who passed away while in state quarantine in Bangkok due to heart disease. So it was not about COVID. It was in heart disease, but he was in the state quarantine process when he passed away. He returned from Japan on the 9th of June upon arrival. He was treated for his heart condition and had enough medicine for himself, of course. He was tested for COVID twice while in quarantine, and both results were negative. However, he was found without life sign in the quarantine, and of course, our sincere condolences to the bereaved families. Moving on quickly to the repatriation flights. We have a slide coming up for you on the repatriation flights, 5 flights from today, for today, and also we have a projection of the various repatriation flights, as always, for tomorrow, 4 other flights, and throughout the week, a number of flights totaling around 22 repatriation flights. So we have all those slides coming up to you on screen for you. And of course, every day we also provide you with certain images of the work of the embassies around the world, as well as within society, everybody helping everybody, be you foreigners or Thai citizens. So we have some images. Firstly is from the Royal Thai Consulate General in Frankfurt, Germany, sending off 144 nationals, including Buddhist monks, the sick persons, students, and workers from 9 countries in Europe, repatriating back to Suvarnabhumi International Airport on the 20th of June. Also, another image on the 19th of June, we have an image from the Royal Thai Consulate General in Karachi, Pakistan, delivering care packages, taking care of the Thai students there in Binoria University in Karachi. Of course, embassies continue to provide this in parallel with their other work in assisting the Thai nationals as well as foreign nationals who have filed their documents for return to Thailand. The spokesperson received some questions directed to him. I'll touch on two. The first is about that in the media it was reported that there were some cases of Myanmar nationals being positive of COVID, and they were those included in the group that returned from Thailand back to Myanmar. So the spokesperson mentioned about, of course, the World Health Organization guidelines as well as the international health regulations guidelines that are being held and complied to in terms of vetting and double checking, of course, all cases around the region. The cases that were mentioned in the media were actually cases of Myanmar nationals who have already recovered from COVID in Thailand before returning back, being repatriated back to Myanmar. And of course, when they returned to Myanmar, they were tested and it was positive. Of course, that may possibly be a recurrence of the COVID disease. Of course, and we wish that, of course, they are now under quarantine, and of course, we respect the quarantine system of the country of Myanmar, and hope that, of course, all those citizens who return from Thailand back to Myanmar will, in due course, recover from COVID. Another question directed to the spokesperson was about a case of a person who, I believe, collapsed in the city of Hat Yai in Songkhla in southern Thailand. It was reported in the press as well. Latest information is that that individual has been tested for COVID, and the results have been that the results are negative. Another question received on social media was a news article reported on VOA Newswire reporting about foreign workers who were stuck in Thailand since March due to the COVID lockdown, and they have been facing difficulties. Certain difficulties because of their visa status and, of course, about financial wise. So according to the information from the Ministry of Labor, firstly, the Thai cabinet on the 15th of April resolved that foreign workers and their families from neighboring countries, that is Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, who are on the name list submitted by employers but have not completed the registration process and can stay on and work in Thailand temporarily until the 30th of November with no overstay penalty. However, the employers would need to complete the registration process as scheduled. And the second is the Thai cabinet on the 2nd of June resolved that foreign workers from neighboring countries whose work permits have expired but could not leave Thailand due to COVID can stay in Thailand temporarily from the 1st of June until the 31st of July. And foreign workers in this group are those from neighboring countries with travel documents and permission to work under the bilateral MOUs on labor cooperation, as well as those with border passes with permission to work in Thailand. So just in terms of conclusion, before I end, I'd just like to add that last Saturday, the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany in Bangkok delivered some good news that Thailand has been removed from the list of risk areas for COVID by the government of Germany. And you see on screen an infographic credited to the German embassy here. Thank you very much. And as a result, there is no more quarantine required in Germany for those arriving from Thailand. So of course that would hold for those who return to Germany, perhaps the German nationals repatriating back to Germany. And the quarantine system in Germany is basically a home quarantine as well. So in concluding, the situation continues to improve. We continue to relax the measures further. We're in the middle of the fourth and last stage, actually. Relaxing, so life can return to normal, business can return to normal, the economy can still grow. Of course, for those Thai nationals and as well as foreigners living in the country, of course, as mentioned often, you are also important, those who call Thailand home. So continue to ask for your cooperation and for us all to adjust ourselves to the new environment. At the same time, remain vigilant to protect yourselves and those around you. Please continue to keep your guard up. You see on screen the 5+1 measures. I think that's kind of visually clear for all of you to remember. 5+1 measures remains very, very important. We mention this often in every briefing. So basically, this is the information that I have for you for today. Of course, as you know, we're almost, of course, winding down in terms of public messaging, but of course, it remains important for us to continue to provide you with the updated information. We'll be here as long as needed, but it won't be much longer, I am informed, because we're in the last phase now, the fourth phase. So I hope that the information that you have been receiving is useful. As I mentioned, it's always important, it's always beneficial to receive information as soon as it is available and to have a clear message from the CCSA, from the government on the measures involved. It's very important and beneficial to receive the information as soon as it is available. It's, of course, better than being the last to know or not being at par with what is happening. So that is what we have been trying to do. As soon as information is available, we provide it to you in the most transparent manner possible. As much as we can say, the most that we can say, we provide that to you. So we appreciate very much your understanding and your patience in the various measures. So as I mentioned, we're almost winding down. I'm not very certain about the schedule in the future. Perhaps this week, of course, the schedule will still be the same for the English language summary, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But beyond that, we will let you know in due course and as soon as possible. So thank you very much for your attention. Have a very pleasant Monday afternoon at work or at home. I hope all of you stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you very much and สวัสดีครับ
ครับกราบขอบพระคุณนะครับท่าน